Ask Tom on Home Show.
Brian from Vail, Colorado has a question about siding style.
Yes, he has a question about this siding on his home. Brian writes to us, my home was built back in 92 and I have a few sections of rotting boards to replace. I just don't know what kind of siding this is. Can you tell me what I have?
It looks like a 105. That's what we call it. It's a lap siding. And if you're going to buy it from the lumber yard, if you take some of your old siding or even a picture, take it to the lumber yard. But in Texas, we call it a 105. It has a little cup at the top and it has a lap on the bottom. So where the cup goes thinner on the top of the siding, the lap from the siding above it goes right over it. So they finger joint together just fine. And it keeps it weather tight. Very common, that kind of profile is what they call it, of the siding. So if a profile of the siding will tell you, and there'll be a number to it, in that case, a 105. Now, it looks like it's about a 6-inch, but it could be a 7 or 8. So you're going to have to find out from top to bottom what the depth is. And so it's going to be a 105. It looks to me through a picture, it's going to be an 8-inch 105, which is a little smaller. It's going to be 7 1/4 to measure, but it's an 8-inch 105, and it's 3/4 of an inch thick in the main body. And it looks like it has a texture on it. You can get it in smooth and textured. So I would tell you, when you go to the lumber yard, you're probably going to end up, or they'll tell you this, that's a textured 8-inch 105 siding.
Where do you measure the facing part of it or the whole board?
It's going to be the back of it. You got to measure down the back or the side of it. If you cut a section, the profile, not a big deal. If you just take a measurement of what it is and then look at the stuff there, because a little bit gets covered on the top, it'll be close enough to where you're not going to get too confused. The pictures are deceiving, but it's probably going to be an 8-inch product.
And he's
very common.
And he's in Vail, Colorado, so I imagine you get that thing painted, it'll last forever.
It does. And you know what? My mother, she passed away 3 years ago. And thank you for your, worried about what happened to her. But she had a house since 1972. And when she passed away, I had Rudy go out and replace a few pieces a couple years before she passed and painted the house. It looked great. It's still there today. It'll last a long time, whether it's in Houston where she was, or it could be in Colorado or anywhere else. It's a good siding, and it was one of the better products out there and one of the more commonly used ones, and very easy to detail, very easy for the carpenters to work with.
Not to be mistaken with pressboard siding, which is a whole
No, this is going to be either a pine or a cedar, but most of it was pine that was out on the market in Texas. It could be a cedar product because it looks like it has a cedar texture to it when you take a close look at that picture.
All right. You want a close look at a good answer? Go ahead and click on that blue Ask Tom button at HomeShowRadio.com. It'll bring you to this form. You fill it out. You send us your question, and you can include a picture like Brian did there. It helps us do a better job for everybody answering them, and that's what we want to do. That's why we post a new one of these every day on our YouTube channel at Home Show Radio's YouTube channel and at HomeShowRadio.com.